The Belgian Malinois doesn't just follow orders, it reads intention. Before a command is spoken, it's already calculating what comes next. That's the secret few truly understand about this breed. Its intelligence isn't about tricks or obedience, it's about instinct guided by purpose. Bred for precision, the Malinois was never designed for the average home. It was engineered for focus, speed, and absolute loyalty under pressure. When soldiers and handlers describe it, they use words usually reserved for humans: discipline, intuition, courage. It's a mind that never sleeps, a body that never hesitates. In the military, it's known as the thinking weapon. In civilian life, that same brain becomes both gift and challenge. Because what most people call energy is actually calculation. Every movement, every bark, every stare is a question. What's my job right now? That question drives everything the Malinois does. And when the human can't answer it, chaos begins. This is where so many owners fail. They mistake intelligence for simplicity, believing a smart dog will train itself. But a Malinois doesn't obey out of habit. It obeys out of respect earned through structure. Handlers know that trust must be mutual. You don't control a Malinois, you partner with one. In training fields across the world, this partnership is an art form. A single look replaces a sentence. A gesture replaces a command. That telepathic connection isn't magic. It's repetition built on respect. And that's the secret they don't tell you. Control is never domination, it's communication. The Malinois reads tone faster than most humans. It senses frustration before it hears it. That's why harsh training fails and calm consistency wins. You can't outmuscle intelligence, you must outthink it. This is a dog that remembers everything. One mistake repeated twice becomes a learned behavior forever. For police canines, that memory becomes weaponized. They can identify suspects by smell years later, tracking what humans forget. In airports and combat zones, Malinois teams operate with near-machine precision. They detect explosives, chase fugitives, and protect lives without hesitation. But behind that perfection lies obsession. Every day must have purpose. Without it, they unravel. That's the curse of extreme intelligence. Boredom isn't rest for a Malinois, it's decay. Left alone, it will invent its own mission, tearing furniture, opening doors, scaling fences. It's not misbehavior, it's misdirected genius. That's why the true challenge isn't training, it's lifestyle. Owning a Malinois means living in motion. Exercise alone won't save you. Mental work, puzzles, tracking, obedience drills, matters even more. Because this dog doesn't want affection first, it wants assignment. It's love expressed through labor. Even affection is strategic. They bond to those who lead, not those who yield. That's why trainers say the Malinois doesn't need love, it needs leadership. And in return, it gives a devotion so absolute, it defies logic. There are stories of Malinois leaping from helicopters, running through fire, refusing to retreat. Courage here isn't taught, it's inherited. That's why elite forces trust them more than technology. They adapt faster than drones and decide quicker than algorithms. A handler once described working with one as partnering with pure intention. It knows the mission, senses the danger, and never asks why. This is intelligence without ego. Power without cruelty. It's what makes the breed misunderstood. People see aggression where there's only purpose. They see intensity where there's only focus. When raised right, that focus becomes compassion. The same dog that can chase a criminal can gently guard a child. Because intelligence, when guided by respect, turns instinct into empathy. That's the true secret behind the Malinois, brilliance balanced by heart. But for those who underestimate it, the consequences are brutal. A Malinois without leadership is like a Ferrari on ice, speed without control. That's why shelters quietly overflow with surrendered Malinois. Not because they're bad dogs, but because they outsmarted the wrong humans. The breed exposes laziness instantly. It forces honesty from its owner. You can't fake authority with a Malinois. You either earn respect or lose control. Handlers say the moment you bluff, it knows. And once you lose its trust, it's nearly impossible to earn it back. The intelligence that makes it extraordinary also makes it unforgiving. It doesn't forget failure, but it never forgets loyalty either. Those who understand that balance experience something rare. A partnership beyond obedience, beyond words. Because the Belgian Malinois isn't man's servant, it's man's reflection. It becomes what we give it, discipline or disorder, peace or chaos. That's the real secret the world doesn't want to admit. Extreme intelligence demands extreme responsibility. Intelligence in the Belgian Malinois goes far beyond commands. It's emotional calculation, a mind that reads the room before a word is spoken. They sense tension faster than any human argument can unfold. In a family, they know exactly who leads and who follows within minutes. That awareness makes them exceptional guardians. They don't just protect territories, they protect hierarchy. A Malinois forms a mental map of everyone it loves. Every scent, every tone, every heartbeat becomes part of its internal database. If something feels off, it reacts before danger arrives. That's not paranoia. That's predictive intelligence refined through centuries of instinct. Families often describe moments that feel supernatural. Doors open, footsteps change, and the dog is already standing between loved ones and the unknown. That's the unseen side of their brilliance. They calculate risk without hesitation, loyalty without limits. In homes that understand structure, this becomes beautiful. The Malinois thrives when everyone plays their role with clarity and calm. But in chaos, that same awareness turns into anxiety. When humans argue, the dog absorbs every ounce of confusion. It begins to overthink, to control what it doesn't understand. That's when dominance issues appear, not out of aggression, but out of misplaced responsibility. Because the Malinois never forgets its original design, leadership through action. When humans fail to lead, it fills the void. Handlers in law enforcement know this well. Their bond isn't built on treats, but trust earned under pressure. The Malinois reads pulse rates through a handler's touch. It senses fear and compensates with courage. In war zones, this instinct has saved countless lives. Under gunfire, these dogs move with precision that machines can't replicate. When danger strikes, hesitation doesn't exist. The Malinois makes micro-decisions faster than training could ever teach. Every successful mission adds to its internal memory bank. Experience becomes instinct, and instinct becomes art. That's the brilliance and the burden. They remember every victory and every trauma. A retired working Malinois doesn't simply switch off. It carries the echoes of every siren, every explosion, every heartbeat it once protected. That's why proper retirement care matters. You're not adopting a pet, you're welcoming a veteran. Their intelligence makes them loyal, but it also makes them vulnerable. They understand absence, grief, and loss in ways science still struggles to define. They wait longer, hope harder, and forgive faster than humans deserve. That emotional intelligence is the secret few ever see. Behind the strength lies sensitivity. Behind the focus lies feeling. That's why kindness in training isn't weakness. It's recognition that you're shaping a consciousness, not a tool. The Malinois learns patterns of emotion as quickly as physical drills. Raise your voice once, and it records the tone forever. Use patience, and it mirrors your calm with perfect discipline. Their learning curve mirrors their handler's soul. That mirror effect is why ownership becomes self-discovery. They expose impatience, inconsistency, and fear, not to shame, but to teach. Because leadership isn't dominance, it's example. And the Malinois follows the example, not the command. When that balance is found, something extraordinary happens. The dog stops performing and starts partnering. Every movement becomes synchronized, a shared awareness beyond words. It's the highest level of communication possible between species. But few reach it because few have the patience. Extreme intelligence demands extreme consistency. For families who rise to that challenge, the reward is profound. They gain not just a protector, but a teacher in loyalty, focus, and restraint. Children raised around a Malinois learn accountability early. They see that respect is mutual, not automatic. The dog enforces boundaries naturally. Play stops when discipline disappears. That's why trainers call them canine truth serums. They reveal exactly how much leadership exists in a household. If chaos rules, they'll mirror it. If order reigns, they'll amplify it. Their brains are wired for fairness. They don't care about rank, they care about reliability. That makes them incredible working partners but demanding companions. They challenge weakness not out of rebellion, but from a drive to improve the pack. Even in rest, their minds don't idle. They scan sounds, scents, and body language like analysts decoding data. The eyes of a Malinois never stop measuring. That constant observation is the price of brilliance. For most owners, that intensity is too much. They crave affection when the dog craves mission. That mismatch ends in heartbreak. Not because of aggression, but because of unmet purpose. A Malinois without a job is a mind without direction. It turns inward, searching for meaning, inventing mischief to stay sane. But with structure, that same energy becomes poetry in motion. Every task completed is satisfaction written in muscle and memory. The world often celebrates their physical power, but the real marvel lies between their ears. They plan, they adapt, they learn faster than we can comprehend. It's not just intelligence, it's awareness shaped by centuries of service. And that awareness forces humans to evolve alongside them. To earn their respect, we must first master ourselves. Because the Belgian Malinois doesn't respond to authority, it responds to authenticity. It knows the difference instantly. That's why their handlers speak of silent language. Commands fade, energy speaks. When a human breathes calm, the dog becomes calm. When a human wavers, the dog hesitates too. That reflection is both blessing and warning. It demands emotional control from anyone who dares to lead them. Every successful bond begins with humility. The handler learns that partnership is earned one heartbeat at a time. In that space between species, something timeless happens. Trust transcends instinct. Understanding replaces fear. That's the real secret the world doesn't talk about. Extreme canine intelligence isn't about dominance, it's about connection. The Belgian Malinois is proof that loyalty can think and intelligence can love. A creature built for battle, yet capable of empathy so deep it humbles humanity. And for those who meet it halfway, with patience, respect, and purpose, the reward is unforgettable. Because once a Malinois trusts you, it doesn't just guard your life, it mirrors your soul.